A government-sponsored program that helps some workers find loan repayment relief is undergoing some changes. Here to help us break down those changes on this Money Monday is Leslie Tayne, debt resolution attorney for the Tayne Law Group. And it's good to see you again.
Nice to see you as well.
So we are talking the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So first of all, what is this program and who qualifies for it?
So this program was created back in 2007 for public workers to be able to get their federal student loans forgiven after 120 months or payments of working in a public service environment. So that included nurses, teachers, and others that might be in the public service arena.
Including nonprofit organizations as well?
Including nonprofits that would qualify. So in order to be part of the Public Student Loan Forgiveness Program, it has to be a qualifying employer. So in the not-for-profit sector, so long as that falls within that, then yes.
I see. Now, how does it work exactly? So you say it was started back in 2007, so it's been around for a while. How exactly does it work? What are the rules in order to qualify if you've met those certain criteria already?
So there are very specific rules, and that's been one of the challenges of this program, is that the rules are so restrictive that those trying to apply don't know if they're qualified or not. So one of the rules is that you have to be in a qualifying employer, so a public service sector type of position. So what does that really mean? And that's been somewhat confusing for consumers. You have to make 120 consecutive payments into the program, qualifying payments. One of the challenges has been with that particular piece of the puzzle is that who's keeping track, and what if there's a accounting error, which has come up at time? What's a qualifying payment? So those are the two big qualifying factors. Now, you can't leave a job and come back. It has to be consecutive as well.
Oh, goodness. So you just, from start to finish, you have to meet a lot of barriers, but there are some changes that are coming into play. So what are those changes now in 2021?
So some of the proposed changes have to do with a waiver of payments. So those that made payments that either were disqualified or didn't think that those payments were going to be eligible can now become eligible. The goal is really to help those public workers qualify for the student loan forgiveness piece of the puzzle. Some of the waivers also include the type of loans that are included. Parent Plus loans are specifically excluded from that. And keep in mind that this is only related to federal loans. So if you have a private student loan, this would not qualify whatsoever.
I see. Do you think that they're going to make any further changes to maybe broaden a little bit some of those, not broaden the restrictions, but maybe limit some of those restrictions? Because, you know, when you're going through school, if you go to school to become a social worker, for instance, and you have to take out a bunch of private student loans, you know, not everything is going to be in the public sector. So, you know, it doesn't really sound like it's all that helpful.
You know, it's helpful for those who are in those public sector positions. So if you are a public school teacher, you work in a public hospital, you are a public defender, and those are just some examples. If you're not sure, apply. The deadline is October 31st, 2022. So you have a little over a year to apply. The worst that could happen is that you find out that your particular loans or the type of position that you are employed in is not eligible for that. But I would encourage you to make sure, encourage those with loans from the federal government to try to apply for the program and find out the qualifications.
Leslie Tayne of the Tayne Law Group, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Great information. We'll be right back.